Hello folks, Rob aka Maximum RD here again. Sorry if I look a bit rough. I'm just a little tired and worn out. But that's okay, because this is my reply, my tag response for Dawgchyper91. That's Dawgchyper91. He tagged me recently, much to my dismay. Just kidding. No, actually, I was tagged. I'm pretty sure I was tagged quite a while back. Actually, the first person to do that was New Coleco, the awesome ColecoVision programmer. And I private messaged him and was like, you know, please don't do this. I'm not gonna get into this and start this kind of thing, because next thing you know, you're tagged twice, 3 times, 10 times, whatever. But then I thought, well, you know, I'm not. If you see my videos, you know I'm not antisocial, and I definitely respond and love my subscribers. So I'm going to do this tag response. So basically, I'm dedicating this tag response to Dawgchyper91, who's the most recent to tag me, New Coleco, who I believe tagged me originally, and anyone and every one of you who are even thinking about tagging me. This is my one response that I'm going to do. I just don't believe in I just don't believe in spending the time talking about myself. I'd rather do my videos about the games and things like that. And I know you're thinking, well, we haven't seen many of those. Well, that's my exact point. I don't even have time to do that. I think it's a bit loud. I don't even have time to do that. So, you know, given priority, if I can put some time together, then I want to create the videos that you subscribe to me for. That said, I'm going to do this one tag response and just throw everything in here at once, get it out of the way, and we're done. Okay, so I didn't even know what to talk about. I just threw some things together. 5 facts for whatever reason you might be interested in. Number 1, okay, I love 3D. I'm not talking, well, I mean, sure, there's the Sega Scope and the video game 3D and stuff like that, but I'm talking old school 3D, original 3D stuff, okay, like, you know, back in the 50s and stuff, you know, in the theater, they would wear these red and blue 3D glasses type thing, and I've just been always fascinated with the concept of turning something 2-dimensional into 3-dimensional. And a couple little things relating to this. I was also pretty big into comics as a kid, so I had talked my mother, as poor as we were, to lend me the money to go to a comics convention. It was all part of my scheme. It's very bad of me, I have to admit, looking back on it now. But what we did was, me and my friend Gord, we were dropped off downtown in front of the hotel where the convention was to take place. And as soon as the car got out of view, basically we turned around, walked down to the Uptown, I think it was the Uptown Theater, and proceeded to watch an old 50s 3D movie, Vincent Price in the House of Wax. Of course, looking back on it now, I think it probably would have been cooler to go to the comics convention, but I was just so into 3D back then, so that's what we did. And then on another occasion, my folks went to go see the movie called Parasite in 3D, a pretty bad sci-fi horror type thing, but it was in 3D, and it was using not the red and blue glasses, but like the polarized lenses, you know, they're like 2 shades of gray. And I told my mom, I told her straight out, I said, well, I'll see you in the theater. And she just kind of laughed, because I was underage, and you know, this was like at the Eaton Cineplex. So we all paid our admissions. They walked into Parasite in 3D, and I seemingly walked into some kids film or whatever. And like 2 minutes later, of course, I show up beside my mom in the audience. I'm like, hi. And she's like, what are you doing here? Like, that was basically her response. What are you doing here? Because the thing is, she was very honest person, like lived by all the old school rules, and God bless her heart for that. But she reacted like it was like a major crime that I had snuck into this theater to see Parasite in 3D, and I watched this movie like as a preteen watching this horror movie that was restricted. And I think through the whole movie, my mom was uncomfortable because she thought, I don't know, the police were going to come in and the government was going to take me away for sneaking into this movie or something. But anyways, so that's one thing. I was quite into 3D. I loved it. Number 2, what was it here? Favorite game genre. How about that? I kind of touched on this already in the gamer tag video to MNC122703, where I mentioned that my favorite PlayStation game was Resident Evil, and that's because my favorite genre of game is survival horror. It has been that way since the boneless, or I keep saying that boneless. If he was boneless, he couldn't have jumped through a window, could he? Ever since the skinless dog jumped through the window in Resident Evil 3, and I hit the ceiling, I've been a big fan of survival horror. In my opinion, there hasn't been as many good survival horror games as there should be. But anyways, hopefully that will continue and they'll keep making them. Number 3, I was into kind of a lot of sketching and drawing when I was a young chap. There's a couple things I have from years ago. This is from 1983. It's just a marker thing I did of Paul Smith original Marvel Comics. It's Kitty Pryde and Colossus in his human form, and they're kissing. And I kind of used a felt tip marker, and I did that back in '83. Hopefully you can see that with some clarity. Then there's like this pencil sketch of a comic panel I did of Kitty Pryde, and I can't remember who the girl is she's holding, but this was from a Walt Simonson original. Again, this was also in 1983. I also used to draw various comics of my friends, and they loved them. They were they were laughing all the time, and this would be my typical folder at school, just full of crazy sketches and things like that. So that's that. I even very early on. This was quite old. This was my friend Gordy used to like to skip school a lot. So back in the day, I basically created an advertisement for a game called School Escape for the Atari 2600 and the Sears arcade. So I had to get my friend Gord, and he had to make it all the way to the school while avoiding the hazards along the way: bullies, comic shop, ice cream store, stuff like that. I was a kid, that was crazy. So anyway, there you go. Some artistic things in my past. I never really followed up on it, but it's always there, even if it is lying dormant in some form. Let's see, number 4. Oh yeah, I'll just give you some of my statistics. Excuse me, these are the only things I can think of. My height, weight, and eye color. How about that? Height, 6'4", weight, 240 pounds, my eye color, brown. And lastly, I'm really into Mystery Science Theater 3000. I freaking love it. I've seen probably most of the episodes by now, just by people who've been good enough to post them on YouTube. I just love watching, schlocky old horror, sci-fi, and other B movies that were so bad that I definitely couldn't watch them under normal circumstances. But listening to the riffs and commentary from the Mystery Science Theater team, it's just, they're hilarious. I love it. So that's basically 5 things about me. There it is, my response to CypherDog91, Nucleco, and anyone else who's ever tagged me if I didn't notice or was thinking about tagging me. This is my one and only response. That's it. Okay, so hope you enjoyed it. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Apparently I think I'm on a phone. Okay, bye.